5 stages of spiritual awakening. Which stage are you in? Has there ever seemed to be more to life than what is immediately apparent to you? Have you had any epiphanies where you wondered what your real mission was? In that case, you may be headed towards spiritual enlightenment. We're delving deeply into the 5 phases of spiritual awakening in today's video, examining the path from ignorance to enlightenment. You get a better knowledge of the cosmos and yourself with each stage's unique insights and challenges. Are you interested in knowing what stage you're at right now? Come along as we explore the indicators and encounters that characterize each phase. You may be surprised to learn how far along your spiritual path is. Although a spiritual awakening is frequently referred to as a journey, it need not be a trip or a pilgrimage. Rather, it is a process of expanding your horizons and moving toward the next stage of evolution. 1. Seeing spirit. The instinct for exploration. The hero's journey, an evolutionary path of growth and transformation woven into all great myths and stories, was defined by the renowned mythologist Joseph Campbell as follows: when we quit thinking about ourselves and our own self-preservation, we undergo a truly heroic transformation of consciousness. The call to adventure, which is the main starting point of any hero's quest, comes first. A break from daily life is symbolized by the call to adventure, which emerges from the subconscious, grabs your attention, and directs you in a new direction. A spiritual awakening is ignited by a call to adventure. If grasped, every life has a moment that has the power to alter it irrevocably. The call to adventure is an awakening experience, a shift in perspective that forces you to adopt a new perspective on life. There are many different ways to have a spiritual experience, such as traveling to a distant place, losing one's innocence, being sick, facing a difficult situation, losing a close friend, having a near-death experience, or losing one's work. Whatever the specifics, the experience makes you reevaluate your perspective and opens your eyes to a whole new universe. It is your calling to live a routine life in an extraordinary way. Joseph Campbell tells us that at this crucial juncture, you have to decide whether to answer the call of adventure with yes or no. But in truth, you can't really say no to the call, since your spirit is calling you to change on a deeper level. The opportunity will only repeat itself like a skip on a record if you reject the call, because of your own karmic effects. It is just waiting for you to answer the call and begin a new life. Furthermore, once one has gone through a profoundly waking and changing experience, there is no turning back. No matter how hard you might try to deny it, your eyes have been opened, and you can no longer ignore the vision of the greater reality calling to you. You enter a bigger universe if you heed the call of adventure. You start taking an active role in the development and expansion of your spirituality. As you start to steer your life toward possibilities that deepen your consciousness, responsibility becomes the key word. There's been a slight change in perspective. Everything feels strangely familiar yet strangely unfamiliar at the same time. 2. More analysis. Selecting a course of action. You start to understand that your life is on a spiritual path, an awakening of your consciousness, when you realize that your constrained worldview can no longer hold your growing awareness. This stage can feel strange and disturbing, even though it can also be an exhilarating moment. It is possible to challenge everything you formerly took for granted, including your worldview, relationships, sense of self and others, and ideas. You are looking for solutions, a way to relive or revisit that first awakening moment that changed your understanding. At this stage, you might decide to look for a fresh perspective that will help you contextualize or remap your worldview, such as a new philosophy, tradition, or practice. Many people start really exploring their spirituality at this point, frequently characterized by an information gathering, introspective, and scholarly phase exploring world religions or psychology. You find yourself drawn to techniques and approaches that mesh well with your distinct personalities and tendencies. Every route offers a unique means of self-realization and self-discovery. There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to choosing your path. Some people may choose one, while others may opt to explore many at once. It matters that it feels correct for you and acts as a suitable means of development. Your own intuitive heart will be the only one to lead you to the approach or vehicle that best suits your needs. No one else can or should dictate your course of action. At this point, it would be wise to keep in mind the following Hindu proverbial wisdom. It doesn't matter which of the hundreds of paths up the mountain you choose, because they all lead to the same location. The only person squandering time is the one circumnavigating the mountain and announcing to everybody that their route is incorrect. 3. Searching. Traversing the route. You are required to be a spiritual seeker for the following step. Once you've discovered your route, consistent discipline, study, and practice help you move closer to the bigger goal of increased awareness. Sadhana is the Sanskrit word for the discipline of spiritual practice. Sadhana is the kind of spiritual practice that transforms it from a solitary endeavor into a way of life. You are committed journeyers on the route, aware of all of its curves and dips. You become more skilled and educated about yourself as well as the tradition or practice you follow as your practice grows. The emergence of self-referral, which is the process by which your identity starts to move from internal references like stillness, intuition, and higher guidance to external references like positions, possessions, and ego satisfactions, characterizes this stage. You recognize that you are a spiritual entity supporting the progressive expansion of your consciousness while being in a human body. There are two indicators, or markers, along their path of enlarged consciousness that indicate spiritual development is happening. First, there's a growing carefree attitude. When you practice spirituality regularly, joy and contentment become your normal state. You don't take life as seriously. Melodrama and hysteria will not affect you as much. You become naturally detached and carefree, and you experience a great sense of ease in life. The ease with which your desires come true is the second indicator of spiritual advancement. Frequent spiritual practice clears the mental, bodily, and energetic obstacles that stand in the way of your aspirations coming to pass. Life gets easier when these barriers dissolve. You enter the flow and encounter small miracles, synchronicities, and acts of grace that bring you one step closer to your spiritual mission. 4. Loss of vision, forgetting the way. But the spiritual road is not without difficulty. The awakening route by definition forces you to face your flaws, self-deceptions, cognitive biases, and resistance to change. Growing can occasionally be an uncomfortable process. It's normal to battle with being in this world, but not of it when your chosen path calls for you to alter your feelings, ideas, words, or actions to be more understanding, forgiving, or kind. According to Joseph Campbell, the barriers, physical or metaphorical, that obstruct significant life-turning moments are known as threshold guardians. They could be adversaries, competitors, obstacles in your path to success, restrictive ideas, or life events. Certainly, to persevere through this time, you must have the strength and bravery to recall the words of poet Robert Frost. The only way out is through. Thankfully, you can fully emerge into the light, carry on with your spiritual development, and awaken from this darkness. 5. Perceiving, uniting with the route. The seeker finally enters a new level that is transcendent, visionary, and sight beyond sight. The indication of a spiritual awakening is this. Seeking spiritual awakening is the greatest journey you will ever go on. It is an immense privilege for you to acknowledge the reality that this kind of trip is ahead of you. Accepting it is tantamount to answering the brave summons of your life's mission and fate. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on personal growth, spirituality, and mindfulness.